It's a damn good interview, I think, because everybody don't believe this shit. I don't even believe it. I can't see you, and you believe that I can.
여러분, 혹시 스키드로우에 대해 들어보셨나요? 스키드로우는 로스앤젤레스 다운타운 근처에 있는 지역으로 노숙자와 저소득층이 많이 모여 사는 곳입니다. 로스앤젤레스를 여행하신다면 절대적으로 이곳은 피하는 게 좋습니다. 온갖 약물 남용과 각종 범죄, 그리고 성폭행이 만연한 지역이기 때문이죠. 오늘은 그곳에서 만난 브라이언의 이야기를 전해드리려고 합니다. 그가 겪은 파란만장한 인생과 단 1년 만에 사람이 어떻게 변할 수 있는지 함께 보시겠습니다.
All right, Brian. Brian, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Alabama, North Alabama, close to Huntsville, and moved around a lot as a kid. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 8 years old. My dad passed away a year after that. He was murdered. And then my mom went into an abusive relationship where they were alcoholics and everything. So other than that, she was married to that man for a year, and then she ended up finding my stepfather, who my little brother's by. My little brother's 18 now, and he's in North Alabama College. But due to my father being murdered and going through seeing my mom abused in an alcoholic relationship and everything, and I was also abused sexually with my cousin who's a lot older than me, it sort of gave me a downhill slide, and I started doing drugs and moved around a lot, and so here I am in Los Angeles. I've been in New York, I've been in Florida, I lived in Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas. I've lived in Arizona for a while. I lived in Arizona for about 7 years, and now I'm out here and just now recently got into an apartment and starting to do better. So,
What is your drug?
Meth is
Crystal meth?
been my downfall. I smoke weed though.
And you've been living on the streets up until just recently getting housing?
Yes, I've been moving so much that I never stayed in one place long enough to get a house. So this has been the longest I've been in an area and tried for myself in a long time.
And you, how have you been supporting yourself while you've been on the streets?
In Florida, I started prostituting, and but I've been trying my best to do day labor. Here, I haven't had to do that, prostitution, but I've been doing day labor and using my GR and all that stuff with general relief for food stamps, and I've been trying to get along with that as best as I can and try to come out of all the badness that's been going on in my life.
Yeah. Did you finish high school?
I got my GED and took 2 years of carpentry.
And you dropped out of school at what age?
I was in the 7th grade, so around 16 or so, and I went back and did 2 years of carpentry at a career technical institute, and so there's where I got my GED. So.
What do you think people don't understand about this whole lifestyle, drugs and the street life?
Well,
People outside of it.
if you've always had what you need, whether you're a drug addict or not, say your family has money and they just always give you the money, you don't know what a life on the streets is like. It's because I came from a little bit of money, and then when my mom passed and my dad passed, it really took me a step back and to see that my family, they just said, Brian, we're not there for you anymore. You're not there for yourself. We're gonna have to do tough love and not be there for you. And that's the way it is to this very day. I don't call them and they don't call me. And I'm missing out on family reunions, my little brother going to college, just all the things that my family back in Alabama and Tennessee are doing. And I'm not a part of it because I took a step off of my track and just kept on what was the norm for me, which was drugs. And I've lost out on a lot of my little brother's life, and I'm 15 years older than him. And with my mom being gone and his father's gone. My father passed in 95, so we need to be closer together than further apart as we are. You know?
Do you understand their side of it, where they're just choosing tough love?
I do, but when you're at that point in your life, like even if I was sober at that point, and I called my aunt or called someone in my family, can you please send me some money for a bus ticket so I can get home, so I can come back home? I'm at that point with them to where they're like, no, we're not helping you with anything. We're not even answering your phone calls. So that's where I'm at with my family. And so if you're ever there with your family, if anyone ever sees this that can relate to what I'm talking about, prove to them, get yourself, like I'm doing, get an apartment, start going to work and prove to them, show up in your own vehicle and show them that you can make something out of your life and be able to applicate yourself back into your family role. It's something that we all need is family. So.
브라이언은 어린 시절 아버지가 살인으로 세상을 떠나고 어머니의 불안정한 삶 속에서 방황을 시작했습니다. 생계를 위해 매춘을 하며 이곳저곳을 떠돌았죠. 그러다 로스앤젤레스에서 정부의 지원으로 작은 아파트를 얻게 되면서 조금씩 희망을 찾고 새로운 삶을 시작하려는 의지를 보여주고 있습니다.
You look so much more together the first time I interviewed you than last time. You looked pretty crazy.
Really? Okay. I still look crazy today too.
What is that? Is that the bipolar thing just
Yeah.
rearing its head?
I've been having a lot of manic episodes lately. I've been screaming I've been having this voice in my head, and it's spiritual, and I've been screaming at it to leave me alone. Like, stop trying to be with me, stop trying to love me. Well, what is the spirit talking to me? Because it's not me talking to myself, and I hear it. It's like a conversation. It brings to light things that I wouldn't even be thinking of. So I'm like, where's this voice coming from, And
it's a well-meaning voice, or is it?
The spirit's in love with me, and also hates me.
There's a lot going on in your head.
It is a lot.
What am I calling you? Am I calling you Rob, or am I calling you
Brian? You can call me Robert or Bob or Brian or Brandon. Yeah, McKinley. I never get called that. That's my middle name.
I see.
So I sometimes go by my grandfather's name. That's Rob, and my father's name I don't ever go by it. It's Terry. So, but
So you're saying there's a group of people that are all hallucinating.
Well, there's the ones that are. It's just whatever. If they're trying to still gauge the judgment of us, because I've been judged many times. I went to heaven like 3 times that I know of in my conscious being, knowing I was in heaven talking to spirits. There was a line of people. We weren't wearing no clothes the first time, and like halfway through that memory, we ended up being in all white robes. I remember we were in a white place, and there was a line of people, and they were coming up and they were all kissing me, and it was men, because I remember when I was first experiencing this spirit stuff, I remember coming back to myself, and I was in a building, and I was like, how did I get here? And I'm signing a book, and when I look up at the wall was shimmering, and it was emerald see-through, and I was like, what is this? So I hurried up and got out of where I just entered, and I'm signing a book. I'm like, what am I signing? Where am I at? And I'm acting like, I know this place. I stepped out, and these beautiful men walked out behind me, and they're like, you're accepted, come on in. And I'm like, I knew, because I could see through the walls, and how the entrance was, it was heaven, and it was emerald see-through. And I was like, because in the Bible it says it'll be jasper, clear walls, as clear as crystal, clear as glass. But I didn't think that it would be green glass, but it's emerald color if it's all, but I only seen this one wall. And it lifted up off the ground after I got through talking to other people. There's more that I talked to them about, but it lifted up off the ground and almost hit a building when it was leaving. It has the capability to be what it needs to be at that point in time. The sun will talk to me, the actual sun. We could go outside with the camera if it will do it, and the sun will have a conversation with me, the actual sun. I'm the one who went on the mountain and talked to the sun. I remember being the bird coming back on Noah's Ark and talking to it was God's spirit in Noah. I had the ability, not the ability, but I was given the right to be shown me in that interaction. I was outside viewing what I had been.
My spirit was the bird that
Why
found
do you
the,
think
found
you
the
are
twig.
the chosen one that the Son?
No, I'm not chosen for nothing. There's a lot of people who have the same hallucinations that I do. Been Marilyn Monroe, been reenacting these different parts through history of these famous people, and your persona and your body is connecting with that spirit, and you feel like you were that person at one time, and you have these memories of that person. We just talked about it today outside the needle exchange. This lady has these different memories that she was these people.
Were you somebody else at one point?
She named 3 people that I remember being too. And I said, well, it's awesome that you got to experience being that awesome person and having yourself feel so exalted and uplifted.
Who have you
I'm
been?
glad that we all could do that. I'm not like someone who's selfish to be like, oh, so God's going to give everybody that feeling, you know, I'm not special. No, I'm glad God did that for you. You know, don't give up on your relationship with the spirits and what is. Whatever you believe your realm to be, believe it to be good. Use your faith in a good way. Your words and your actions do count against your life and for your life. You speak blessings or curses over your life. Your words and your actions do cause an effect. Karma is a real thing. What you put out, you will get back, and sometimes more than what you bargained for.
새로운 시작을 꿈꾸던 브라이언은 결국 마약에 손을 대고 말았습니다. 그로 인해 조울증과 정신분열증에 시달리며 어느 날 예수님을 만났다고 주장하게 되죠. 그런데 이것이 단순한 환각 증세일까요? 아니면 실제로 일어난 일일까요?
God tell me, because I don't know. I got shot before. I've been to heaven. I was in hell one time that I know of. Tell me why I don't see God.
Brian, what's going on?
God is playing with me and my faith. And it's not something to play with killing puppies, with hurting people and going into them and stuff, and doing sex to me while I'm asleep, and me waking up and having people on top of me having sex on me. And I had to even just be like, okay, I'll finally be with you, God, as somebody I didn't even know God would be there as. And I said, okay, finally, I will do it with you with somebody, because I'm wanting to be monogamous, because I am a Christian, and God would not. God would not. And then, so there's this guy that was holding my shoulders and another guy that was in between my legs. And yeah, I remember smoking Fetty or whatever, but I went to sleep on the bed. I woke up on the couch having sex. That is not mine. That's not me. Why would I not tell that? Okay, let's hear this true story then. Okay, Brian doesn't know the true story other than what Brian just told. Well, somebody said, well, I don't see anybody but me and him. It's a damn good interview, I think, because everybody don't believe this shit. I don't even believe it. I can't see you, and you believe that I can. Because I don't know why you believe it. And I call everybody else you because that's what they taught us in America. That, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. I was on the cross with Jesus. Physically. I don't know how. I'm Emmanuel. You named me, God, from the sky 3 years ago. For 3 or 4 years ago. It was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago or something. I can't cry. I don't know to cry. Should I cry for me? Am I really sad for this? Not loving yourself no more. Don't hurt my puppy anymore. Really bring it back. I'll love you. Erase this. Please erase this. I pray it's placed in Jesus' name. Amen. Hallelujah. Because I love God and I don't know why I'm going through this. Because I shouldn't have been going through this. I believed. And I've been having to hurt and be hurt for why? To bet on me? That's evil. That's what you call gambling. You're not supposed to gamble. I check lottery tickets, but I don't go buy them. I have them.
마약으로 인해 브라이언의 정신은 무너지고 그는 이제 행설수설할 뿐 제대로 된 인터뷰조차 할 수 없는 상태가 되었습니다. 과연 그에게 아직 희망이 남아 있을까요?
You seem a little more clear-headed now.
Yeah, I've been sober for a little while now, so
That's great.
yeah.
Can you hang on to that?
I'm trying to hang on to it.
You're back on Skid Row.
Yeah, I stay on Stanford.
That's trouble, man.
Yeah. If I'm hungry, I end up shoplifting usually to get food. But other than that, I don't steal. You know.
And you're clean, like you kind of are now, and
Yeah.
how you were in that very first talk. And that was a couple of years ago, at least. You're such a lovely young man.
I try to stay with the humbleness, the goodness. In
Yeah,
me.
but like, man, I interviewed you a few times where you were out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
It seems like schizophrenia and something else too, probably lack of sleep.
Probably methamphetamine or something.
Oh yeah, a lot of meth, which keeps you up for days or weeks.
Yeah, it makes you very sexually active.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, I was just at the hotel across from the other studio, and there was this drag queen walking down the hall, and she's a big drag queen, like big, and she just like elbowed me in the nose for no reason. I didn't even like do anything to her, and she elbowed me in the nose. My nose started pouring blood, and I was wearing a white T-shirt and everything, and luckily I only lived a block and a half away, so I walked home and everything. But it's constantly fights out there, and it's really been a fall for me, and also it helped me to become more mentally stable in the community of that, to know what to do and what not to do, you know. Because I've made my falls in it, you know. And I haven't been so far as to be around murders, but I've been there when I've come down the street when they've roped it off a few times. So I've been lucky enough to not be murdered or be around when it happened, but there's always murders out there and stuff like that.
No, it's terrible.
It is.
So that's why I don't really try. I try not to go down there so much anymore.
Yeah.
It's just I pushed my luck there for 5 years. Well, Brian, I'm just very pleased to see you in this state. I hope you stay this way.
Yeah.
Hope you get housing. I hope
Me
you stay away from Skid Row.
Yeah. Thank you.
희망이 사라진 듯 보였던 브라이언은 다행히 술을 끊고 제정신을 되찾았습니다. 마치 밧줄 위에 아슬아슬 서 있는 것 같지만 그는 여전히 희망의 끈을 놓지 않고 있습니다. 과연 브라이언은 정말로 새로운 삶을 시작할 수 있을까요?
Brian, what'd you do?
I fell back into doing fatty.
No kidding. Just a couple days ago I saw you.
Yeah. I can't hardly move. Please help me.
I can send you to rehab. I've told you this before. You're back at it. If you ever want to try something different, you let me know. I'm not going to force you. I'm just going to offer it.
Thanks for the offer.
불과 이틀 전 멀쩡해 보이던 브라이언이 이제는 도와달라고 애원하는 상황에서도 여전히 마약을 하고 있습니다. 불행한 어린 시절로 방황하던 그는 이곳저곳을 떠돌다가 스키드로우에 정착하게 되었고 마약을 쉽게 구할 수 있는 미국의 환경 속에서 빠져나오지 못하고 있습니다. 마약의 위험성은 이처럼 끔찍합니다. 호기심에서라도 소량이라도 시작하지 마세요. 브라이언이 다시 정신을 차리고 새로운 삶을 살 수 있기를 간절히 기도합니다.